Hmm. What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. Since the great Willem Dafoe has few stuff in the pipeline, he's in that he's playing Vincent Van Gogh in that new film at Eternity Gate, which is out now in theaters. He's in that new film Vox Lux with Natalie Portman, which opens Friday, and he's in the new Aquaman, which opens December 21st. Well, since he has pretty much technically three films in the pipeline, coming. Here is my 10 favorite Willem Dafoe movies because he's a really good actor. I mean, he's iconic. I can't really say he's legendary or anything like that, but he's a he's such a good actor, and lots of people actually want him to play the Joker. Like, I kind of want that too, but I don't know if that will probably ever happen now. But if they ever announced that he would have been the Joker, I actually would have been down with that. But anyway, that being said, here's my 10 favorite Willem Dafoe movies. Coming in at number 10 will be Mississippi Burning. Now, this movie got released in 1988 and stars, Willem Dafoe and Gene Hackman as FBI agents who are sent to investigate, you know, after like a group of civil rights workers are missing in a small Mississippi town. It's a pretty good little intense film. I mean, it got released in 1988. I mean, the movie turns 30 this week. Oh boy, want to feel older? It even had the likes of Francis McDormand, Brad Dourif, Ollie Ermey, R.I.P. Ermey. Pretty good film. I really like the chemistry between both Hackman and Dafoe. Their chemistry worked pretty well together. This was a pretty interesting film worth checking out. If you guys still haven't seen Mississippi Burning, give it a go because I think it's an 80s classic. Kind of an underrated 80s movie, though. I don't think lots of people, like when you talk about 80s films, Mississippi Burning is not really one people barely talk about, but it's just a pretty decent film. All right, coming in at number 9 will be the vampire film Shadow of the Vampire. Shadow of the Vampire was a pretty decent vampire film with Dafoe as a vampire. You had the great John Malkovich was in this. And it was released in... When was this released in? Yeah, it was released in 2000, and it's a pretty good film. John Malkovich was pretty decent. Eddie Izzard was good. Cary Elwes was pretty decent as well. And it's actually like another new take on the classic story Nosferatu. And it's pretty much about John Malkovich who stars as F.W. Monroe, who is struggling to create his silent classic Nosferatu on location in Eastern Europe, and he is obsessed with making the most authentic vampire movie ever. And he employs a real vampire named Max Schreck, who's of course the star of Nosferatu. So this is pretty much, I guess you could say, it's about a movie about the making of Nosferatu. It's a pretty good vampire film. Willem Dafoe was pretty good at playing the star of Nosferatu. Like I said, John Malkovich was pretty decent. Kind of a good little film worth checking out. All right. Coming in at number 8 will be the film Autofocus. Now, this was a film about the late Hogan's Heroes actor Bob Crane, and Dafoe starred as the role of his friend named John Henry Carpenter, and it reveals how Crane's double life takes it on a toll on him and his family, and ultimately contributes to his like death. This movie was really good. Greg Kinnear as Bob Crane was a pretty interesting casting. Dafoe as Carpenter was good. Even had Maria Bello. She was in this. I love Maria Bello. Pretty good, supporting players. And Dafoe was, of course, good. If you guys still haven't had a chance to check out Autofocus, and if you're curious about Bob Crane, definitely check this one out. All right, coming in at number 7 is mainly a recent one, and that will be The Florida Project. Now, this movie scored Dafoe an Oscar nomination. A well-deserved Oscar nomination, too. Sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, The Florida Project, it's a really good little film. I mean, it starred Dafoe along with mainly Dafoe's like the bigger star in the film that I know of, because he's like, because the other actors wasn't really that well known when they did this film. And the stars of this included newcomer Brooklyn Prince, who was amazing in this. Valeria Keitel was pretty good. It was also directed by Sean Baker, who also did that movie Tangerine. Now, The Florida Project is like a coming-of-age film, and it follows a 6-year-old named Moni, played by Brooklyn Prince, and her rebellious mother, played by Bria Venta. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. And over the course of a single summer, the two live week to week at the Magic Castle at a budget hotel managed by a guy named Bobby, who's pretty much a hotel manager, and he's of course played by Dafoe. I mean, Willem Dafoe in this movie was terrific. Of course, Dafoe's always great. And the one who plays like the young star Brooklyn Prince was pretty good. Had some good supporting players, and yeah, I mean, if you guys still haven't seen The Florida Project yet, I highly recommend it. It's of course from H24, who's a really good company. But yeah, Florida Project, it's a really good film worth checking out. Coming in at number 6 would be The Last Temptation of Christ. Now, this movie starred Harvey Keitel as well as Dafoe, and was directed by Martin Scorsese. And was like about and Dafoe in this played the role of Jesus Christ. The script was also written by Paul Schrader, who also recently directed that First Reform with Ethan Hawke. Dafoe as Jesus Christ was pretty good. I mean, he's probably my favorite on-screen Jesus performance. Maybe next to Jim Caviezel. Maybe down the line I'll do my 10 favorite Jesus, on-screen portrayal. But anyway, yeah, The Last Temptation of Christ. It was pretty intense. I will admit there, it was intense. And Dafoe, he really embodied the role as Jesus Christ. Martin Scorsese did a pretty good job at directing. Yet again, he's Martin Scorsese. He's always the best. And Harvey Keitel was pretty decent. You had Barbara Hershey, the late great David Bowie. Pretty good film about the life of Jesus Christ. If you guys still haven't seen The Last Temptation of Christ, I highly recommend it. All right, coming in at number 5 will be The Boondock Saints. The Boondock Saints is really good. I mean, it's a pretty good crime thriller we're checking out. The performances in this was good. Willem Dafoe was pretty good in his part. Yeah, The Boondock Saints and its sequel are both really good crime films. And I kind of hope we see a third one, but God knows if that's going to ever happen. All right, coming in at number 4 would be Finding Nemo. Now, in this, William Dafoe voices that fish Nigel, who is trying to get out from that cage that Nemo is trapped in. William Dafoe as the role of Nigel, I don't think he really gets much credit he deserves as that role. I really dug him as that Nigel role. You literally could tell that's William Dafoe, by the way. I mean, so some of the actors in this who voices some of the characters of Finding Nemo, other than Ellen DeGeneres, some of them you usually can't really recognize their voice right away. But when Dafoe's character Nigel speaks, you tell that's William Dafoe. I mean, William Dafoe, he should have done more voice work because he has an act for because his voice is really cool and deep. So it's a shame that we never really got to see him do much voiceover work because he was really good at Finding Nemo, and he appeared in Finding Dory, but that was kind of a waste, to be honest. I love Finding Dory, but my biggest problem was how they wasted the character, like the other characters in that dentist office. They literally wasted them in the sequel. I gotta say, if they do another Finding Nemo, it'll be cool to see these characters reprise their roles again, because I gotta say, I really dug these characters that was featured in the dentist office and Finding Nemo. I don't really think they would get that much credit they deserve because they're really good characters. All right, coming in at number 3 will be the war movie Platoon. This movie was directed by Oliver Stone and, of course, starred Willem Dafoe alongside the likes of Tom Berenger. Who else was in this? Oh yeah, Johnny Depp had a role in this. Pretty good, intense war film. I mean, this movie is intense. It's seriously not a film I could watch over and over because there is some really intense stuff that happens in this, and it's really good. Oliver Stone, what he did with this film is fantastic. Of course, that classic scene where that character is like leaning on his leg and holding his hand up high. That's actually an iconic scene. I mean, that scene has been spoofed in stuff like Tropic Thunder and a few other stuff. It got spoofed in. It's a really good iconic scene. And Platoon it's a good war movie. Just like I said, it's really hard to watch, and it's not really a film you can watch over and over again. Well, really, most war movies you can't really watch over and over again because they're really intense to watch. All right, coming in at number 2 will be American Psycho. Now, of course, this one starred Christian Bale. You even had Reese Witherspoon. This movie it's also pretty intense, but not an intense film. I mean, you could definitely watch it, but there are some really crazy stuff that happens in this. And Christian Bale as Bateman it's an iconic character, and he plays that role really good. Willem Dafoe was pretty good in his part. Reese Witherspoon was good. Has some good players in American Psycho. Definitely check out American Psycho because it's a 90s horror comedy classic. All right, coming in at number 1, it's a no shocker. My number 1 favorite Willem Dafoe movie ever will be SpiderMan. I mean, Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn / the Green Goblin is a amazing casting. I mean, if I did a list of the best perfect casting in a superhero film, Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin will probably be up there. He played they really played. I mean, Dafoe played that role just perfectly. I mean, Sam Raimi, or I don't know who did the casting for this, but whoever did the casting for Spider-Man, bravo! They did such a perfect job at getting Willem Dafoe to play the Green Goblin. And of course, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is really good. James Franco as Harry Osborn is a perfect casting too. I gotta say, I mean, it was pretty cool to see Willem Dafoe, technically back again, but as like a ghost figure. It was pretty cool to see that, but it would be cool to see him back as a Green Goblin again. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who they're going to get to play the next Green Goblin, because it'll be hard. I mean, the next actor to play the Green Goblin / Norman Osborn will be hard to top Dafoe's work as the role. Because him as the Green Goblin / Norman Osborn was really good. I mean, yeah, we had like Chris Cooper played Norman Osborn and Dane DeHaan, but they were okay, but they weren't as good as Dafoe, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it for my 10 favorite William Dafoe movies. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Mississippi Burning. 9. Shadow of the Vampire. 8. Autofocus. 7. The Florida Project. 6. The Last Temptation of Christ. 5. The Boondock Saints. 4. Finding Nemo. 3. Platoon. 2. American Psycho. 1. SpiderMan. Now, there's loads of other ones I could have added. Let me pull up his list. I'm actually looking forward to see him in Aquaman, by the way. Of course, he was in Death Note, John Wick, Antichrist, Nymphomaniac, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Murder on the Orient Express he was pretty good in, Wild at Heart with Nick Cage, John Carter he had a part in, definitely not The Great War. Oh, definitely not Speed 2. He was pretty good in Fault in Our Stars, Body of Evidence with Madonna he was in, Clear Repressive Danger with Harrison Ford, definitely not XXX State of the Union. Born on the 4th of July he was in. Man, Dafoe's done a lot of stuff. Let me leave it to you guys. What are your favorite William Dafoe movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas Hill signing off.